Hello again, everybody. My name is Steve. I am a healthcare worker working in BC, Canada, and I felt like I should make another one of these videos. The feedback and response I had from my last video was great. I really appreciate all of the likes, the shares, and the comments that I got, so much so that I felt like I should make another video, so here we are. So for today, I'd like to focus on the struggles that all of us are having in our everyday lives right now. It's a very interesting world that we are living in right now, with social distancing and having to stay at home, a lot of us. So these situations that are put on us right now can be incredibly stressful to us. Whether or not you're an essential care service provider and you have to go to work every day, or you're someone that's just working from home now or staying home from work, or you're someone that's having to self-isolate and having to stay at home and cut ties with all sorts of people while your illness passes. I myself just got tested for COVID-19 yesterday. Um, it's important as a healthcare worker, a frontline healthcare worker, to obviously be very careful. So we're not going to take any chances. I'm going to get tested and make sure I'm not spreading this around to everyone before I go back to work. And that being said, right now I'm living in my basement. I'm self-isolating myself in this space while my wife and my kids live upstairs. Thankfully, my kids have been nice enough to have some art made for me to liven up the space a little bit while I'm stuck down here. So the best thing that we can do at a time like this is pretty much, other than the social distancing and all the other rules that are put in place, the best thing that we can do is to take care of ourselves. What I mean by this is today I want to talk about how we can cope with or mitigate the amount of stress that we are dealing with right now. So, as we all know, or you may or may not know, stress can be very detrimental to our health, especially chronic stress, so stress that's happening all the time on a continuous basis. This can cause us to have weakened immune systems. It can cause all sorts of different symptoms. It can cause headaches. It can cause high blood pressure. It can cause fatigue, a loss of sleep, all sorts of different issues. And mentally, it can make you more irritable, which is never a good thing, considering a lot of us have to be in close quarters with the same people for extended periods of time now that we're home. But it can also make you more anxious. It can make you more likely to abuse drugs and alcohol, and ultimately, in severe cases, it can lead to depression. And these are all things that we don't want to deal with on top of the current situation that's going on in the world. So I want to give you guys a few things that you can use to hopefully help reduce the stress in our lives right now. First and foremost would be exercise and proper nutrition. It's very important that you try to get some exercise every day if at all possible, even if it's going for walks if you're allowed outside, but even if you're not allowed outside. There's plenty of things on YouTube that you can look up, lots of different exercises that can be done, different courses, yoga, all sorts of different things that you can look into. But it's very important to get that blood flowing every day. It's important for your physical and your mental health to have that done every day. Next, I want to talk about your hobbies. So it's very important to have hobbies to occupy our time, but it's not good to have unhealthy hobbies. And what I mean by that is things like binge watching Netflix and like marathon video game sessions. That type of stuff is can increase the amount of stress in our lives in the long run. It's important to mix things up. It's important not to just do those types of things. Those things are fun, but you need to break it up with other things. So I would suggest, reading a book, learning a new skill. Um, what else? Self-improvement. You can do all sorts of things to help yourself grow and help yourself mature a little bit more during this time if you have some spare time on your hands. The next thing I would suggest is to make sure you keep in good contact with your loved ones. So even if you can't see them physically, it's important virtually to be able to do that. And we live in a time now that we're able to do that, fortunately. I, for example, tonight had a FaceTime bedtime story with my daughter. It's the best we can do right now, since I can't actually be physically near her. So we do what we can. Finally, I would like to mention a bunch of different relaxation techniques. So I myself have found meditation for the past little while to be very useful, as well as some mindfulness training. But yoga is another good one. Even if you want to go into something as simple as just breathing exercises and that type of stuff. Different relaxation techniques can be very important right now. It's very important for us to try and focus our attention on something other than what's going on in the world right now. Um, what we choose to focus our attention on moment to moment can have a huge impact on the amount of stress that we have in our daily lives. So try to focus your attention on some good things. Even in the worst of times, there's always something to be thankful for. So for me, I'm thankful that my wife and my kids are healthy. I'm thankful that I get to communicate with my friends, even if it is virtually. I'm thankful that I'm having some time to work on some self-improvement and learning new things. Those are all good things that I can focus my attention on rather than the situation that's going on in the outside world. So I think that about wraps it up with everything that I wanted to talk about with regards to stress. Please let me know if there's anything that you guys have felt helpful in your lives that have helped to reduce the amount of stress, new skills that you've learned, or new things that you've done, or things around the house that you've gotten done that you didn't have time to do before. Um, Please stay safe, take care of each other, and take care of yourselves. Thank you.